advocating for democratic transition in Iran, says the regime is collapsing.
At the seventh day of the war, we are seeing the signs of defection and collapse among the basis of, repression forces, which are soldiers.
She says that while the regime is still in power, it is disorganized and many Iranians have lost confidence in its ability to function.
As Israeli warplanes pounded Beirut and Tehran, and Iran launched another round of retaliatory strikes, at least 20,000 stranded Americans returned from the Middle East. Heather Doherty's flight touched down in San Francisco.
You hear alerts going off, you hear explosions in the sky, and it's hard to know what's going on, but it's really unsettling.
A red flag for the economy? The Dow is tanking, down 935 after employers cut a surprising 92,000 jobs last month. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Inside this report, the government said that healthcare lost 28,000 jobs. That's a big turnaround from a sector that had been creating jobs. But the Labor Department said this is mostly due to strike activity. Once strikes are settled, those numbers usually come back in the subsequent month.
Oil prices have jumped to their highest in nearly 2 years. Gas prices up 11% over last week. Twisters tore through the Plain States overnight. A mother and daughter were killed in their van north of Oklahoma City in Clio Springs. Major County Sheriff Anthony Robinson.
I know that they had been on cellular phone with one of their family members and lost connection. We believe that the vehicle was hit directly with a tornado.
Severe storms could hit from the southern plains to the Great Lakes today. New report says climate change is on the rise again. CBS's Dave Malkoff.
Scientists at the Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research have found that global warming has significantly accelerated over the past decade. Adjusted data show this trend began around 2015, and at the current rate, Earth is likely to exceed the 1.5 degrees C limit of the Paris Climate Accord by 2030.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
7:03 is Friday morning, and we check in with Sully for traffic on the 3s.
And we've definitely seen some improvement now through the Puyallup area on that eastbound 512 to northbound 167 corridor. Crash entirely gone on that ramp. So now we just have the slowing down the South Hill to get through. And I know it's annoying. It's about 2 or 3, maybe 5 minutes slower than it should be down the hill. But then after that, you'll definitely pick up the pace, and you really don't hit the brakes at all up the Valley Freeway until you get up to about 405, and definitely right through the ramp meter. So, I mean, not like from 180th on up. It's under 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue, a little action there in the S-curves, but by most days' standards, a 20-minute trip up to Bellevue is a win. The Valley, the Federal Way to Seattle Drive is only running 38 minutes now. Even past the West Seattle Bridge, it's not terrible. Little red on the map right at the south end of the First Avenue South Bridge on northbound 509. Still have those 2 right lanes blocked. Coming down from the north end, 405 is a little heavier than I-5. You're going to need about 43 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about 40 from Everett to Seattle. For 405, the brake lights are actually south of Canyon Park, heading to 522. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Visit Subaru of Puyallup for friendly experts, transparent pricing, genuine care, savings during the Subaru Lot to Love event through March 31st. SubaruPuyallup.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. A King County man is now charged with intentionally running over and killing a woman in a Bellevue parking lot, and that's not all.
Now, police now say he's accused of hitting 2 other people earlier that day. He's also accused of threatening his mom with a knife, and he once escaped from a state mental institution.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here to put all these pieces together.
Yeah, there's a lot of them as well, Charlie. Let's start with last Saturday. Police say 68-year-old Mark Alexander Adams intentionally hit 88-year-old Shinko Oshino in the parking lot of the YMCA in Bellevue. Adams is a member at that Y. Court documents say surveillance cameras, along with footage from a parked Tesla, showed his Toyota Camry lined up the victim, then accelerated. Police say Oshino died right there at the scene. Q13 reports later that morning, however, police say the same vehicle hit a man riding a skateboard in Tacoma, then tried to hit a truck driver in a gas station parking lot. Seconds later, the car circled around the building and hit another man. The victim flew up on the hood and the windshield of the car. Police say Adams then tried to reverse over him, but the victim rolled away just in time. That victim suffered a spinal fracture, according to police. When police caught up to Adams in Port Townsend, court documents say he asked officers if Bellevue or Tacoma police were there to pick him up. Charlie and Manda, it doesn't stop there. The court records show Adams still has an active protection order in King County accusing him of stalking and threatening his elderly mother and her husband with a knife. And also back in 2016, Adams apparently escaped from Western State through a loose window. He was later caught, but he had been committed to Western State after being found not competent to stand trial for a 2014 domestic assault case in Snohomish County. He is now charged with first-degree murder, being held on $5 million bail, scheduled to be arraigned on Monday.
Thanks for that update, Luke. A day after the U.S. Senate defeated a similar measure, the U.S. House yesterday rejected a war powers resolution that would halt the president's attack on Iran.
Washington Republican Michael Baumgartner says it is time for the current regime, which has killed Americans across the Middle East, to come to an end. He voted no.
President Trump's actions are a long time coming.
Democrats like New York's Gerald Nadler voted yes. He says the president has the right to respond to an attack on the United States, but he does not have the right to start a war.
President Trump's illegal strikes against Iran are dragging the United States into another costly war in the Middle East.
Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Overnight in the State House, lawmakers passed a controversial bill that would allow a state commission to remove elected sheriffs. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun.
It passed around 1 a.m. this morning after 8 hours of debate. No Republicans voted for this bill, and some Democrats joined Republicans to vote against it. That includes Representatives Clyde Shavers, Marie Leavitt, Addison Richards, and Amy Whalen. Right now, a recall election is the only way to get rid of a sheriff. This bill would allow the state's Criminal Justice Training Commission to remove them instead if the sheriff or police chief failed to enforce certain laws.
The bill now goes back to the Senate for approval of amendments. We are in the final days of the legislative session.
Keeping you informed 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's 7:08. We've made it to Friday together. It is March 6th. Along with Charlie Harger, I'm Manda Factor.
You can tell by the way he dances that he's a traffic man.
Oh, totally.
No time to plan.
I think that one's called The Conduit.
Nice move, Sully.
Staying alive on the roads, baby.
Gotta watch the YouTube feed for Sully and his dance moves. Who knew?
Pretty impressive.
This is Seattle's Morning News, and we have a busy hour in front of us, gearing up for, of course, World Baseball Classic's happening a little later today.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh, Team USA, Aaron Judge, and others. They take on Brazil at 5 this
Hopefully
afternoon.
the score won't be 27-6 like yesterday's Mariners game against the Padres.
Had a tough one.
All right, Charlie, what's coming up in the 7:35 commentary?
Well, it's not me today. It is our news director, Frank Lenzi, with a guest commentary. Frank has a unique perspective on the last time the U.S. went to war in the Middle East, and he'll talk about it at 7:35.
It's now 7:09. Well, it will not be easy to travel around Bothell and Woodinville this weekend. We've warned you. 405 will be closed in both directions near Highway 522 from 6 o'clock tomorrow night to 4 a.m. Monday. The Department of Transportation's Lauren Penning says there are detours, but they will add significant time.
We really are expecting there to be delays of up to an hour, really at peak times, as people are trying to navigate through here.
The state is removing a ramp that crosses the freeway. 405 will also be closed in the same area next weekend.
Seattle police say their real-time crime center is improving justice for crime victims. The department analyzed more than 220,000 911 calls since the system launched last May, found officers are 3 times more likely to make an arrest when they work with crime center analysis. Chief Sean Barnes talked about the program last month, saying it helped detectives make arrests in more than half of all homicides last year.
Assisted in 17 of these cases and assisted in closing, bringing someone to justice in 10 of these cases last year.
Crime Center uses technology, including live video feeds, to speed response times and identify suspects.
Washington Attorney General Nick Brown was before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals yesterday. He's asking the court to permanently block a Trump executive order that would cut federal funding to hospitals like Seattle Children's, providing transgender medical care to minors.
These executive orders that the president issued are unconstitutional. They violate the Fifth Amendment equal protection guarantees. We also argued that the orders violated the separation of powers and usurped congressional authority.
A decision is expected in the next few months.
2 people and a dog died after a head-on crash near 19th and Yakima in Tacoma yesterday afternoon. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss was there.
Tacoma PD says it happened around 3:15. A woman and her dog were in a dark BMW sedan. They died at the scene. The woman driving a white SUV along with a man who was a passenger. They were taken to the hospital. We were told just after 6 that she had died. The passenger is expected to be okay, but the wreckage shows just how violent the collision was. Right now, no word on who may have been at fault or what led up to the collision or how fast they were going. Police say all of that is now under investigation.
If you just happened to be at the Capitol in Olympia yesterday, you probably smelled something delicious. The Washington Cattlemen's Association was grilling free tri-tip sandwiches for Beef Day on the Hill. According to the Seattle Times, the group planned to serve about 1,500 sandwiches. The goal was to raise awareness of Washington's farming and ranching families while the session is still underway. They encourage you to buy local whenever you can.
I think the Washington Cattlemen's Association welcome any time to come by the station with tri-tip sandwiches.
We wouldn't even need that many.
No, but we could share with our neighbors. Emerald City Comic-Con going on at the Convention Center. Event director Chris DeLando says they're expecting about 90,000 fans.
We're very fortunate that we have consistently had guest lists year on year of people who are just really excited to meet fans and really participate in the community. And I think that they enjoy it, and that's why they keep coming back.
Comic-Con runs through Sunday.
It's 7:12. Let's talk about the weather for the weekend. KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard is with us. Today looks pretty wet, Nick.
It does. I mean, right now, there isn't much falling, but you're still getting mist and drizzle. You're getting some sprinkles out there. And I think you'll see that for the morning hours. And then over the next couple of hours by, mid to late morning, it picks back up again. Then it's just wet all afternoon. We have rain that'll be here consistently all until late this evening and into the overnight hours. So wet at times today with temperatures getting into the low 50s. Not too bad for wind, but just a little bit gusty. And then tomorrow, all you're going to see really, a few showers mainly around and north of Everett. The rest of the area looks mainly dry, but cloudy to mostly cloudy. And then you wake up to rain on Sunday. I do think the rain tapers off pretty quickly, and all you'd have left would be around, say, like North King County into Snohomish County, the Puget Sound convergence zone, while the rest of the area sees for the mountain passes for next week. And then this weekend, you do get some sunshine at times.
All right. Sounds great, Nick. It's 45 in Seattle right now.
And it's 7:13. Let's check the Friday drive. Traffic every 10 minutes. Sully?
Getting a few more customers down the I-5 corridor and the 405 corridor as we work our way out of the Snohomish County area. For 405, it's south of Canyon Park to 522, and for I-5, it's right there in Northgate. Give yourself about 40 minutes to go from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, 25 of those minutes away from Linwood. Northbound 405, the Renton S-curve started to see a little bit more action as well, but really by the time you're up to Sunset, it really cleans out up the hill. You're under 25 minutes, probably closer to 20. Valley Freeway, nice and easy, under 40, probably closer to 35, and almost all the slowing now is gone on eastbound 512 to northbound 167. Pierce County in general is quiet, nothing from Olympia to Tacoma. Federal Way to Seattle, under 40 minutes. There are some brake lights by the West Seattle Bridge. Same with 509 northbound approaching the First Avenue South Bridge. Lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Last year was one of the hottest on record. Get efficient heating and cooling with a Home Comfort Alliance heat pump for the price of AC. Don't wait. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Thanks for being here on this Friday morning. Washington's congressional delegation is celebrating the firing of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Democrats and one key Republican praised the move. Senator Patty Murray posted a social media interview saying she has no idea what led to the firing.
All I can tell you from my perspective is no one will miss her. But we do need a Department of Homeland Security that respects the rights of Americans.
Senator Maria Cantwell was a bit more pointed. She said Noem ran the department with, quote, unpardonable disregard for civil liberties, the Constitution, and state and local governments. And Republican Dan Newhouse wrote, quote, A change in leadership at the Department of Homeland Security was long overdue.
Let's dive into what happened and what comes next with News Nation correspondent Joe Khalil. Good morning, Joe. How did this all go down?
Good morning. Good to be with you guys. Well, actually, I think this was sort of a long time coming, to be honest. Democrats, as you point out, were the ones kind of openly happy about this and celebrating. But I can tell you, covering Capitol Hill, behind the scenes, there were a lot of Republicans that were fed up with Kristi Noem's leadership. You look at President Trump's polling numbers. Coming into office, he had a lot of support on his immigration crackdown. Now, today, his support for ICE, for the deportations, for all of it, sits at like 39%. He has significantly lost support, and a lot of people blame Kristi Noem on the Republican side for that, the way she handled Minneapolis after the 2 killings of American citizens, and she just immediately called them domestic terrorists. That did not sit well with, frankly, a lot of Republicans, too, behind the scenes. So there was a lot coming, and then just this week, I think objectively, by all accounts, she pretty poorly handled a lot of tough questions from lawmakers. And again, it was some Democrats, but really the Republicans that sort of tore her down in these hearings in the House and Senate, I think was the final death knell for her reign at DHS.
Does it seem to be that the granting of awarding government grants was kind of the thing that sealed the deal?
So a Republican really took her apart on this during a Senate hearing. She had a $220 million budget. Let that figure sink in for listeners. $220 million budget just for media, which basically was creating these ads that featured herself very prominently. There was one of her, riding a horse in front of Mount Rushmore. There were others. And this Republican senator, John Kennedy from Louisiana, a very strong Trump ally, took her to task on that and was questioning how you could spend that much money on ads that he said didn't help the public, but just sort of boosted her own personal profile. By the way, those ads were awarded in terms of contracts for making them to a company that just had been established 11 days before she got the contract, and they were subcontracting out to another company that was run by the husband of her former spokesperson. So there was a lot there, and she also set President Trump under oath in the hearing that he gave her the blessing for these ads. President Trump almost immediately went public, talked to reporters and said, I never gave any sort of okay for any of this. So again, you could sort of see the end nearing for the secretary.
Yeah, you couldn't avoid those ads both on TV and the radio. They were everywhere, and President saying he didn't have much involvement. Interesting to find out. So she's out, and we got a new guy in. What do we know about Senator Mark Wayne Mullen?
Yeah, so he's a senator from Oklahoma. He's a relatively new senator. He's been in the House. He'd been in the House for 10 years before that. He's a very strong Trump ally as well. He's someone who has really taken the MAGA mantle on Capitol Hill.
Nope. Joe, did we lose you? I'm afraid we lost our connection with Joe. Anyway, the president has now given Noem a different position and title, Special Envoy for the Shield of Americans. We're going to find out more tomorrow in a big announcement on what that position entails and what the Special Envoy for the Shield of Americans is.
Yeah. It's 7:19 now. The Justice Department has released the Epstein files that include a woman's accusations against President Trump. Here's Michael Wallace.
The department says the files have been mistakenly withheld during an earlier review because they were incorrectly labeled as duplicative. They contain a summary of the FBI's interview of a woman who claimed Jeffrey Epstein flew her to either New York or New Jersey, where she said she bit President Trump after he tried to sexually assault her. She also claimed Epstein had arranged sexual encounters with other men and schemed to have her mother sent to prison. Her accusations remain uncorroborated. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Executives from the defense industry are scheduled to meet at the White House today to talk about ramping up the U.S. military stockpile of weapons and ammunition. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
The talks will include executives from Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and others, and come amid the U.S.-led military action against Iran. In addition, the U.S. has drawn down billions worth of weapons stockpiles since Russia invaded Ukraine more than 4 years ago, and Israel began its military operations in Gaza. While the meeting comes amid several conflicts, President Trump has not signaled any concern about a shortage of U.S. weaponry. He recently posted on social media saying there was, quote, a virtually unlimited supply, adding wars can be fought forever. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
New data shows American employers unexpectedly cut 92,000 jobs last month, a sign the labor market remains under strain. Here's CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
The federal government lost an additional 10,000 jobs. Since peaking back in October of 2024, the federal government has shed 330,000 positions, or 11% of its workforce.
Well, Britney Spears is now scheduled to be in a California courtroom May 4th, and after being arrested this week in Ventura County on suspicion of driving under the influence. Authorities say Spears was driving erratically at a high speed on Highway 101. CBS's Kelly O'Grady looks back on the troubled past of a woman who, for a time, had been a superstar.
Spears is known for her generation-defining hits with 9 studio albums, but she faced public scrutiny as her battles with mental illness were documented in the tabloids. In 2008, she was placed under a court-ordered conservatorship, which controlled her life and empire for more than a decade before the Free Britney movement and a judge ended it in 2021. The specific charges against Spears have not been released. CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
We could see penalties everywhere from just fines to temporarily suspending her license, all the way up to jail time.
A representative for Spears said this was an unfortunate incident that is completely inexcusable, adding Britney is going to take the right steps and comply with the law.
Britney Spears is now 44 years old. The arrest was made by the California Highway Patrol. According to the CHP, Spears was alone in the car at the time.
It's time to get a check on traffic every 10 minutes. Sully, you are watching the roads, and we also still have that heads up on 405 this weekend.
Yeah, the big closures are coming up, and a little addendum to that. I got an update last night from the Department of Transportation. Again, we're talking about the closure of 405 in both directions, right around 522 in Bothell. It looks like, remember, if we talked about this yesterday, if you're listening, there was a detour that was going to happen right away at 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon that would take people northbound into Woodinville and back around and up through 195th. They restriped the ramp last night, so that shouldn't need to happen. It should just be an easy off at 522, then right back on at 522 starting. But either way, the bottom line is that 405 will be closed between 522 and 527 basically all weekend from 6 p.m. tomorrow night until 4 a.m. Monday. They're removing that ramp there. And again, next weekend, we're getting the same thing. But yeah, just be prepared. You should be aware by now. There are plenty of signs out there letting you know it's closed. The roads right now, we're looking really good. We've got some brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge, but really under 40 minutes to make the drive from Federal Way to Seattle, probably closer to 35. Northbound 405, the Renton S-curves are active, but a 22-minute trip to Bellevue is pretty good. Not a lot up the Valley Freeway today, which is great. 35 minutes on the corridor there. Olympia to Tacoma is only 30 minutes. Across the lake, great. Coming down from the north end on southbound 405. We have some brake lights in the Canyon Park area down through 522 there in Bothell. 40 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about 42 from Everett to Seattle. You hit the brake lights right around 130th down past the forced merge there at the Northgate area. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial 97.3 HD2.
Well, you're going to get wet today. We are looking for a rainy Friday, 51 the high, but things will improve a bit for the weekend. Just scattered showers Saturday and Sunday. Looks like Sunday will be the driest of the 2 days. Highs in the low 50s. It's 45 in Seattle right now.
7:24, more of the day's top stories on the way, including KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey with why one Republican lawmaker in our state is in hot water.
Also, today's guest commentary at 7:35, our news director, Frank Lindsay, offers some perspective on the war in Iran through his experience with the war in Iraq more than 20 years ago. This is Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale, new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Whether you've done some preparation already or you're just beginning to plan for your retirement, it's never too late to make sure you have everything covered. Elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich joins me. You have an opportunity coming soon that will help answer some important questions, don't you?
We do. And every month we take 3 or 4 opportunities to go to the communities and educate people about what proper retirement planning is. The notion of retirement planning around having a hodgepodge plan, working with a financial planner, a lawyer, a CPA, a doctor, those pieces by themselves are not going to give you the results you want in retirement.
And you and the LifePoint Law team want to teach us about the Safe Harbor Trust?
They do. The single biggest financial threat in retirement is an uncovered medical illness. A Safe Harbor Trust, it should be a must in most of these estates, but is not.
Be part of the next seminar in Tacoma on March 10th, Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett March 17th. Learn more and secure your space at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:30. A state lawmaker is standing by an offensive comment he made during debate over a bill that would end a program for developmentally disabled people with violent histories.
He teed up and intentionally used the R word in his speech, drawing a strong reaction from other senators. And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
Yeah, Charlie, Amanda, and right off the bat, everyone listening, we've decided not to play Senator Leonard Christian saying the R word. But listen to this. As horrible as it is to refer to someone who is developmentally disabled that way, before Christian said it in his speech, Charlie, you mentioned he teed it up as if saying the R word was his big moment on the Senate floor Wednesday.
I'm a simple guy. I try to bring things down to where I can understand them when I read the bills, words and terms that I can understand them. If you surely figured out by now, I do not have a speechwriter. Probably need one.
And seconds later, he said the word. And here was the immediate reaction. What you're going to hear is Christian a little bit, and then other senators reacting in the background, and then Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck.
That's what this bill is doing. It is ending a program.
Language, Senator Christian. Language.
At the time, lawmakers were debating a House bill which would eliminate the community protection program that provides services for people with developmental disabilities who have been charged or convicted of violent crimes. An emotional Senator Noel Frame then spoke on the Senate floor.
I am so emotional at this moment because I cannot believe a member of this body would feign outrage about caring for disabled people after using such an offensive term.
Christian never apologized, but beyond that, he also doubled down. He said the word again in an interview, but the GOP Senate leader did issue an apology yesterday. Charlie and Amanda, Senate Majority Leader Democrat Jamie Peterson was asked if he would move to censure Christian. Peterson said no, he won't, because Republicans, he said, are taking care of it. Christian could be stripped now from two prominent positions on two different committees. As a result, we will find out in the days to come.
All right. Also in the state house overnight, lawmakers pass a controversial bill that would allow a state commission to remove elected sheriffs. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
It passed around 1 a.m. this morning after 8 hours of debate. No Republicans voted for this bill, and some Democrats joined Republicans to vote against it. That includes Representatives Clyde Shavers, Marie Leavitt, Addison Richards, and Amy Whalen. Right now, a recall election is the only way to get rid of a sheriff. This bill would allow the state's Criminal Justice Training Commission to remove them instead if the sheriff or police chief failed to enforce certain laws.
Bill goes back to the Senate for approval of amendments. We are in the final days of the legislative session.
7:33, time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Chris Sullivan.
And we are seeing volumes building now on southbound 405 through Canyon Park down into Bothell, up to 45 minutes now to go from Everett into the Bellevue area, with 30 of those minutes minimum away from Linwood. Same deal for I-5. The brake lights there from 130th on down, so give yourself about 45 plus to go from Everett into Seattle. Northbound I-5 also seeing a little bit more action past the north end of Boeing Field, past the West Seattle Bridge, so 40 minutes now from Federal Way to Seattle. Behind that, Pierce County is quiet and nothing from Olympia to Tacoma. Northbound 509 sees the brake lights past the First Avenue South Bridge, or really at the south end of it. Rented to Bellevue now up over 25 minutes. Those S-curves are really starting to activate now. But behind that, the Valley Freeway's in pretty good shape. We've only got 40 minutes to go from end to end. Lake bridges are still fine. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Get ready for a night of hard-hitting MMA excitement. WFC 190, April 25th at the Emerald Queen. The Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Rain today, especially in the afternoon, a high of 51. Some spotty showers primarily north of Seattle tomorrow and Sunday. A lot of sun breaks as well. Highs in the low 50s. Right now, it's 46 in Seattle.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's time for the 7:35 commentary, and today we have a guest commentator, KIRO News Radio News Director Frank Lindsay.
As the U.S. starts taking casualties in the war with Iran, we're learning the names of those killed, those service members who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. This is giving me flashbacks to 2003, when I was still living in my hometown of Portland, Oregon, at the beginning of the Iraq War. In the opening days of the conflict in March of that year, my brother, Idaho Air National Guard Major Greg Stone, was at Camp Pennsylvania in Kuwait when another soldier rolled grenades into the tent where he was asleep. That attack wounded many soldiers. My brother died of his injuries 3 days later. Army Captain Chris Seifert was shot in the back and killed. The soldier responsible has been on military death row since 2005. Like I do now, I worked in the news when my brother was killed. I don't know if it was a defense mechanism or just diligence about getting the story, but instead of simply taking time off and processing the awful reality of losing my brother, I went into reporter mode. Greg was one of the first U.S. service members killed in the war with Iraq with ties to Portland. I recognized that because of that, his death was a big story, and it was an even bigger story given the circumstances. The night we found out about the attack, we thought he would survive. I got a hold of Greg's commanding officer, and he was willing to give me an interview. But he asked me, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I said yes. But as it turned out, we got disconnected, and I couldn't get him back on the line. I ended up calling in another reporter and having him reach out to the CO, and he eventually got the interview. That was a good thing, but I was ready to do the interview myself. I was young, I was insecure in my job and my abilities, and I felt like if we missed this story, it would be on me. Then I became part of the story, and I don't like that. News people should not become part of the story. Sometimes, however, it's unavoidable. I did interviews about my brother for a couple of years. It was tough, but I felt like it was all I could do for him. I could tell his story as best I could from my perspective. I could share things beyond what he had achieved during his military career or the circumstances of his death. I could let the world know how much fun I had being his little brother. I was able to share how, because of him, I am obsessed to this day with all things Top Gun, that I still listen to Styx and Journey without irony, and how every year on my birthday until I was about 8, he would make me laugh so hard that I would throw up. These are the things that made him more than a soldier. They're what made him my brother. As the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan continued, the U.S., of course, lost more service members, including some from Oregon and Washington. My job was then, as it is now, to gather the news. That included reaching out to their family members to see if they wanted to talk about it on the radio, to be interviewed about the loved one who had just died. What an awful thing to ask somebody to do. I can't say that I can't imagine it, though, because I received those phone calls myself, and in most cases, I did the interviews. But I think it was easier for me because I was in the same profession as the person making the request. I understood why they were doing what they were doing. I understood it was their job. It was my job, too. Asking a stranger to do an interview about their loved one who has just died is difficult and uncomfortable, but it is nowhere near as difficult and uncomfortable as it is being asked. I am forever grateful to the people who let me talk to them and who shared their loved ones' stories. Well, now here we are again, 23 years later, new conflict. So far, a handful of service members have died. Like I said, we're starting to learn their names. We're also starting to learn their hometowns. This week, I instinctively looked for any casualties from Washington. My heart dropped when I saw a soldier's hometown listed as Bellevue. But it was not Bellevue, Washington. It was Bellevue, Nebraska. And for a moment, I was relieved. I was relieved our state hasn't taken a casualty, at least that we know of. I was relieved I would not have to call that person's family or ask one of my reporters to make that call. I was briefly the 27-year-old me who had just lost his brother, yet still had a war to cover. 50-year-old me, however, snapped out of it and realized it's not about the hometowns or whether we journalists feel uncomfortable. It is about the service members who have made the ultimate sacrifice. It is about their stories. It is about them. So as journalists, it is our duty to tell their stories as best we can, as difficult as it may be. That is the only thing we can do for them. Like I did for my brother 23 years ago, I will do that for them. And I hope I make him as proud as he has always made me. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And that's our news director, Frank, with today's commentary. You can text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476, and you can always leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Sully will have a check on traffic next. It's 7:40.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Bonneville, Seattle, and KIRO Newsradio are looking for organizations that regularly distribute information about employment opportunities to job applicants or have job applicants to refer. If your organization would like to receive notifications of job vacancies, please notify Human Resources at 1820 Eastlake Avenue East, Seattle, Washington 98102, or email us at seattlealljobs@bonneville.com or call 206-726-6902. Bonneville is an equal opportunity employer.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Every year we see a spike in serious accidents involving motor vehicles, bicycles, and pedestrians occurring in the few days after daylight saving time. If you are injured in an accident, protect your legal rights with an experienced team of lawyers who know how to get results. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 to request a free legal consultation or get my free book on car accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
7:43 now. We have traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
We're pushing up to 45 minutes now to go from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. For 405, the brake lights begin right there in Canyon Park. For I-5, right after 145th. So not exactly Friday light, but manageable by what you guys have been getting used to over the last month and a half. Looking at Federal Way to Seattle, we do have brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge, a little bit before that as well. Overall, about 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle with 26 of those minutes from South Center. Northbound 509, the backup is about a mile approaching the First Avenue South Bridge. Renton to Bellevue, about 25 minutes, but behind that, the Valley Freeway is really quiet and actually in pretty good shape. Most of Pierce County is as well. There's just some hesitations here and there. Eastbound 16, starting to see a little slowing around Cheney Stadium. Back and forth between Tacoma and Olympia, no problem. 16 and 18 look good. Lake bridges are still fine. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. During the Subaru of Puyallup for friendly experts, visit them, that is. Transparent pricing, genuine care, and savings during the Subaru Lot to Love event going on now through March 31st. SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Our forecast is going to be pretty wet for today. We'll see rain at times, 51 the high, but just scattered showers for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Highs in the low 50s. It looks at this point like Sunday will be the driest of the 2 days. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 45.
Coming up, G. Scott stops by to argue why we need to keep daylight saving time. That's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
There is one real estate agent who's been helping KIRO listeners longer than anyone else, and that's Wes Jones with sellwithwes.com. Wes, you've helped KIRO listeners in good markets and more difficult ones. What do you think has been the secret to your success?
Thanks, Brandy. Experience has taught us that to outperform the market, we needed to do things differently from the status quo, that we needed to do more. Our exclusive system covers innovative marketing locally and internationally, leading to more eyeballs on your home, better listing prep for better showings, negotiation strategies that eliminate pesky buyer contingencies, and generate stronger offers. Through our exclusive client programs, our sellers enjoy an extraordinary marketing experience utilizing techniques a traditional agent cannot offer.
So if you want to sell your home faster, at a higher price, and with fewer contingencies, if you want more, visit sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com, a better way to sell your home.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Friday, 7:47, and you know what that means, Manda.
No.
G. Scott stops by early.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
I'm showered.
You're looking very spiffy,
We're all proud
too.
of you, G.
Yeah.
Perfect outfit to shake off that 27-6 loss to the Padres yesterday.
Whoa. We almost did it. Everybody almost had Mariners on today.
Sully didn't get the memo, or maybe he chose again to not wear.
No, I don't do it to the season. I got some brand new stuff, too.
Okay.
Oh, it's ready, huh?
Yeah, it's ready to go.
G's got a new fit. It's going to be great. Okay, we wanted to talk with you because this weekend we are...
I'm going to be grumpy on Monday.
Let's go. Okay.
Daylight saving time.
Hold that thought on being grumpy. Because
I will be. I'm just
First
warning
of all, I am so excited. Right now, even before this Sunday, we've been getting that sun. We've been getting it at 5:45 up to about 6 o'clock. And now on Sunday, when time springs ahead 1 hour, we're talking about 7 o'clock, 7:15 coming up, where it's going to be extra daylight. And for all the people that get up early in the morning, at 2, 3 in the morning, it's going to hurt on Monday. I'm with you guys. It's going to hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, instead of getting up at 3:30, I'm actually going to be getting up at 2:30 for a little bit. I will take that sacrifice. And I also kind of like the little bit of every single year of just the little change up. So I am for daylight savings.
Okay, well, shouldn't it just be daylight saving all the time then?
And just stay right there at this time right here. Don't move it.
I just don't like adjusting.
Well, no, time...
Spring forward and then stop.
Spring forward, like British Columbia is doing.
Yeah, spring. Yeah. So this Sunday, when it springs forward, stop right there.
Yes, never adjust again.
I think we can agree on that.
Our friends in Canada are onto something.
And don't worry about the morning times. Like that's what it was for the farmers. And hey, we'll make sure in the morning times. Hey, we can have it dark in the morning. No doubt. So man, this was easy. Wait, do we all agree on this?
Yeah, we do, but we need Congress to help us out.
Oh, Congress is they're wait. they're busy doing other things.
Yeah.
What is their focus these days? Anyway.
So, a lot of people are going to say, though, you're going to lose time in the morning. It'll be darker in the morning. And I hear a lot of pushback from people saying, no, keep it on standard time. Here's my entire thing. Just pick one or the other.
No,
pick one.
First of all, who do you know that wants to keep it on standard time?
David Croman at the Seattle Times. He posted about that this week on X.
What?
Yeah.
Like, he wants to stay right here, right now?
Yeah.
He doesn't live in Seattle then.
Well, I think he is in favor of alternating or going to daylight saving time in the summertime, but having standard time. So keeping things the status quo.
Yeah. Well, look. Again, I just want to say this conversation that we have, if you live in the Seattle area, which most of you do that's listening, this is a different conversation with most people in the country because we talking about when we get really cooking, we're talking about still sunlight at 9:30 p.m. That's the beauty of living where we live here. And, of course, Alaska, we know what they do. But we got the perfect little sweet spot. I'm looking forward to it. I love the tease of it, too, right? The tease. So starting on Sunday, it'll be 7 o'clock. And then during the week, it'll be 7:05 and 7:10. And it'll just start creeping up. And before you know it, come July, baby, we cooking. We cooking. And it's about 9:30 at night. And Manda, Charlie, Dave, and so you guys are sleeping.
There are no blackout shades dark enough.
And everybody's just having a good time, relaxing. It makes for a good time. We'll worry about the morning. The morning times, whatever. I don't care about driving to work, it being dark, getting to work, and still being
Melinda
dark.
in Bellevue, no to daylight savings all the time. In the winter, we should not see daylight till 9 a.m. Got another 425, standard time all the way. I think some people might disagree with you here, G.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you disagree with me on this one. David, where are you at on this? Just so we're clear.
I'm for it. I mean, as the one who wakes up the earliest out of this whole group, I will say it is going to be rough on Monday. Yeah. But I also do love a later, the sun going down later. And I don't mind having to block out the sun.
You're young, you can handle it.
That's right. Well, and for me, the big thing is I want it to be light out for first pitch of opening day.
Wait, what time do you guys go to bed at night?
Charlie's
6:30, 6:45, right? Something like that.
I don't know how you do that. I'm probably cooked around 8:30.
Dawn in Grapeview. Gee, I want to stay on standard time. I have a small horse farm. Don't want to do chores in the dark.
That's what this is for. It's for that right there. I'm sleeping around 8:30-ish, 9 o'clock.
Apparently, another texter says the science and data show standard time is healthier.
Now, I will say this. When I was younger, it didn't affect me like it does now.
Well,
I'll agree with that. It definitely affects me. I feel it for a while.
Catherine goes, where did those texters move from? California?
I think we're fine here. I think we love it. We're looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Lynn and Enumclaw, spring forward, pretty much leave it that way forever. Never keep it on standard time forever. I'd be horrified by that. I'd have to move. I need evening sunlight.
I mean, if you want standard time all the time, you are the party pooper. You are the no fun police. You don't want anybody having a good time if you want continued standard time.
I want high noon at high noon.
I just saw that one too.
All right, guys. Happy Friday.
Bottom line is, it's springtime. That means baseball's right around the corner, and you have the perfect fit on for it today.
Oh, let's go. Are you going to kick me out?
You may be excused.
Dang it.
Happy Friday.
7:53. By the way, G and Ursula coming up at 9 to noon. You can always check out the Reset podcast on mynorthwest.com. 7:53, we check in with Sully for traffic.
And we've pushed up to 50 minutes now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with 35 of those minutes from Linwood. So definitely not getting the Friday light discount for you guys there. Everywhere else is reasonable. I mean, if you're going up the I-5 corridor, Federal Way to Seattle's running around 40 minutes, with 25 of those those minutes from South Center, so that last mile is going to be a little slow, but you're going to get through it okay. Northbound 509 isn't too bad approaching the First Avenue South Bridge, just kind of an annoying slow. Don't forget, coming up on Monday, all northbound lanes of the First Avenue South Bridge are going to be closed for about 3 days as they try to do some emergency repairs on the bridge deck. Looking at 405 northbound, the Renton S curves are active, but 25 minutes to Bellevue is a really good travel time. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is under 40, which is great. Eastbound 16 starting to see a little bit of action there as you approach Cheney Stadium. We usually get some slowing there around 8 o'clock, but it's not as bad as it could be. Westbound 512, though, a little slow approaching Steel Street, but again, nothing you can't handle. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Well, yes, Todd, I do agree with you. He says split it a half an hour and leave it.
A lot of countries in the Middle East, that's what they do.
Compromise.
All about compromise. All right.
It's a gray morning. We're going to see rain throughout the day, 51 for your Friday, but a little bit better for the weekend. Just scattered showers for Saturday and Sunday. Looks like Sunday will be the drier of the 2 days. Right now in Seattle, it's 45.
Coming up, we have consumer man Herb Weisbaum. He's going to stop by for giving us advice. Advice on avoiding fraudsters. That's coming up at 8:15 here on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump says he'll only accept unconditional surrender from Iran. CBS's Ramy Inocencio reports there's a new push for opponents of Iran's regime to take action on the ground.
He has now been encouraging people on the ground in Iraq and on top of that in Iran to do some kind of ground mobilization themselves. For example, he's encouraging Kurdish forces, Iranian Kurdish forces that are in Iraq across the border to enter Iran. And he said that he thinks that this is wonderful, that he'd be all for it.
Israeli warplanes pounded Beirut and Tehran today as Iran launched another wave of retaliatory strikes targeting other nations in the region. Shirley Bejarano is one of thousands of Americans stuck in the Middle East because of the war. She's trying to get home from Qatar.
When I do call the embassy or the Department of State, any of these numbers that have been provided, they just say shelter in place. Okay, we have your information. We'll send it out.
The economic impact of the war beginning to be felt as gas prices have gone up yet again. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular is now $3.32. CBS's Michael Wallace tells us about the government's employment report out today.
The economy lost 92,000 jobs in February. Economists had predicted job growth. Chris Varveris with the Economist Intelligence Unit says some of the losses were due to nurses' strikes in California and Hawaii.
Even accounting for that, we have to take this as a fairly soft report.
He says several sectors cut jobs.
We saw losses in manufacturing, in construction.
Varveris says the war with Iran could put further pressure on the labor market if oil shipments are delayed.
At the White House, CBS's Weijia Jiang reports the final straw for fired DHS Secretary Kristi Noem may have been a $220 million ad campaign that caught the White House by surprise.
Administration sources here tell us it wasn't necessarily this one thing that triggered the firing, but this one thing was the final thing the president could take, because there were so many previous issues with the secretary that was begging the question, okay, is she going to stay or is she going to go?
2 people were killed when severe weather hit northwestern Oklahoma. Major County Sheriff Anthony Robinson says it was a woman and her daughter in a car.
They had been on cellular phone with one of their family members and lost connection. We believe that the vehicle was hit directly with a tornado.
More stormy weather is expected in that part of the country today. And checking Wall Street, the Dow is down 479 points. The S&P is down 65. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
It's 8:03 Friday morning. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan.
And we are getting a Friday light for just about everybody. There's some brake lights here and there that in places that might cause a couple of minutes worth of a delay. But if you're coming down from the north end, you guys are going to get the worst of it. That's just our reality with the lane restrictions the way they are. We've got about a 50-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with 35 of those minutes from Linwood. By most day standards, a lot lighter than usual, but still not exactly a full discount. Looking at northbound I-5, not bad past the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. As our good friend Adam reminds me, we could start seeing people showing up for Comic-Con now as the gates are opening a little bit later on this morning. And so be prepared, but right now it's not too bad. Under 40 from Federal Way to Seattle. Little braking northbound 509, but really manageable towards the First Avenue South Bridge. Under 30 from Renton to Bellevue. Valley Freeway is 40 minutes or less. The braking we did have on eastbound 16 past Cheney Stadium is gone. Lake bridges are fine. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
8:04 on the Friday, March 6, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
A King County man is now charged with intentionally running over and killing a woman in a Bellevue parking lot, and that is not all.
Police now say he's accused of hitting two other people later that day. He's accused of threatening his mom with a knife, and he once escaped from a state mental institution.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here to put all the pieces together.
Yeah, let's start with last Saturday. Police say that 68-year-old Mark Alexander Adams intentionally hit 88-year-old Shinko Oshino in the parking lot of the YMCA in Bellevue. Adams is a member of the Y. Court documents say surveillance cameras, along with footage from a parked Tesla, show his Toyota Camry lined up the victim, then accelerated. Police say Oshino died there at the scene. Q13 reports later that morning, police say the same vehicle hit a man riding a skateboard in Tacoma, then tried to hit a truck driver at a gas station parking lot. Seconds later, the car circled around the building away from that man and hit another man. That victim flew up on the hood and the windshield. Police say Adams then tried to reverse over him, but the victim rolled out of the way. That victim, police say, survived but suffered a spinal fracture. And when police caught Adams in Port Townsend later on, court documents say he asked officers at the door there, Bellevue or Tacoma police, which one were there to pick him up. Charlie and Amanda, though, it doesn't stop there. Court records show Adams still has an active protection order in King County accusing him of stalking and threatening his elderly mother and her husband with a knife. Also, back in 2016, Adams escaped from Western State through a loose window. He was later caught, but he had been committed after being found non-competent to stand trial for a 2014 domestic assault in Snohomish County. Adams is now charged with first-degree murder. He's being held on $5 million bail, scheduled to be arraigned on Monday. A wild story that raises a lot of questions. I mean, first, why was the suspect let out of Western State in the first place and never tried for those alleged crimes or that crime in 2014? And what happens now with the charges that he faces now, including first-degree murder?
Raises a lot of questions about the system. Thank you, Luke. Pierce County Sheriff's Office releasing body cam and dash cam video from a 2023 pursuit and shooting, saying they want the public to see what their deputies face in the field.
Deputies had stopped a DUI suspect. What they didn't know was that he was also connected to a double homicide.
Tubby, you okay? No, I'm shot. I'm shot. Shots fired, officer down. Give us.
You can see the full video at mynorthwest.com.
A bill that would allow the state to remove elected sheriffs from office is heading to Governor Ferguson's desk. State House passed the measure early this morning after nearly 8 hours of debate on a party line vote. The bill would require sheriff candidates to be at least 25 years old, have 5 years of law enforcement experience, and be certified by the state's Criminal Justice Training Commission. If a sheriff loses that certification for misconduct, they'd automatically be removed from office.
Supporters say sheriffs should be held to the same standards as the officers who work for them, but critics, including several sheriffs, call it an attack on voters' right to choose their own leaders. Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank called it payback, not policy. The bill now goes back to the Senate before reaching the governor.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
You ever notice that Nick has some very particular tastes when it comes to music?
Yes.
And we love him. We love him, but we know this is Nick knowing his jams.
Oh, yeah. I've been in a disco mode the last couple days. Coselli inspired me with his dance moves, but I think I got him on this one, though.
No.
Or maybe he just doesn't like it.
Not one of my favorites.
I can't tell you what it is, but I love it.
It's Rasputin by Boney M.
Well, of course it is.
Duh.
Why did I not know that?
Yeah, that one's yeah. Yeah, give me a little Saturday Night Fever. I'm down. This one is not my thing, but not bad.
Maybe we should have Nick wear a leisure suit one day.
Oh, I didn't need that picture in my head.
I still have one. I mean, it's kid size. I wasn't this old all the time.
Well, we are gearing up for the weekend here on Seattle's Morning News. A busy one for all of us, for sure. We have a busy hour in front of us as well. Consumer man Herb Weisbaum is going to stop by, talking about how to avoid falling prey to fraudsters.
Also, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden has your weekend planner, including your go-to guide for Emerald City Comic-Con.
Good morning. It's 8:09. Yesterday, the U.S. House narrowly rejected a war powers resolution that would halt the president's attack on Iran. Here's Republican Michael Baumgartner.
This terrorist regime has killed thousands of their countrymen, killed Americans across the Middle East, and it's time for them to come to an end.
But you had New York Democrat Gerald Nadler saying the strikes are illegal.
The president has the power to react to an attack on the United States. He does not have the power to start a war.
So that one went down in the House. The Senate defeated a similar measure along party lines Wednesday.
Seattle police say their real-time crime center is tripling arrest rates, and a recent rape case shows how. Chief Sean Barnes recently described the case where an officer spotted a vehicle matching a suspect description and called crime center analysts for instant verification.
So they pulled up the registration tag and confirmed it was the same vehicle. A traffic stop was initiated. Ultimately, the person driving was arrested and charged for that crime.
It's just one example from an analysis of 220,000 emergency calls since the crime center launched last May. The system includes live video feeds that monitor high-crime areas.
Washington Attorney General Nick Brown was in federal court yesterday defending a state law that allows transgender medical care for minors. Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
AG Nick Brown went before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to defend a district court preliminary injunction put in place last year. The Trump administration appealed, arguing the injunction was invalid. AG Brown believes the circuit court should now make that preliminary injunction permanent.
In Washington state law, you're entitled to health care, whether you're cisgender, transgender, no matter what. And we don't want to let one president override the state protections here.
Trump's executive order sought to cut off all federal funding to hospitals like Seattle Children's that provide gender-affirming care. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, those gas prices just keep on climbing. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery has been following the money.
The national average is up 34 cents in just a week. Washington's average for a gallon is up 14 cents, with a 4-cent increase just overnight. This is almost entirely because of the conflict in the Middle East, according to AAA. The price of crude oil is up to more than $70 a barrel. According to their data, the last time the national average made this high a weekly jump was in March of 2022, during the start of the Russia-Ukraine war. Prices also start to increase in the spring as demand rises and a more expensive summer mix comes online. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Emerald City Comic-Con is underway at the Convention Center. Event director Chris DeLando says a lot of celebrities and fans will be there.
Bryce Dallas Howard. We have Jamie Campbell Bower coming off the final season of Stranger Things. We've got Kyle MacLachlan from Twin Peaks, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're really excited. We've got about 90,000 fans that are going to be descending on the Seattle Convention Center this weekend to celebrate all their love of all things pop culture.
Comic-Con runs through Sunday.
It's now 8:12. Well, let's talk about the weather for the weekend. For that, here's KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
All right, you can count on finding some drizzle, some sprinkles early on, some pockets of light rain, but then rain just increases everywhere. So expect it to be a wet afternoon. That really does just hang out the rest of the day and into tonight. I don't see much change until overnight. However, tomorrow is going to be drier. I think you just find some rain, mainly from, say, like Everett North, and it's just a few showers. That's all. And then Sunday, we have rain in the morning, then a Puget Sound convergence zone that's going to hang around King and Snohomish County, while the rest of the area is drier with some sun. Next week, scattered showers, much cooler, good snow in the mountains, and even in some of those showers, you might find some pockets where there is some wet snow mixed in.
Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies. It's 46.
Coming up on 8:13, that's time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
Really not too bad across the board out there on this Friday morning. We're seeing, not too bad actually on the I-5 southbound drive coming down out of Shoreline. I'll get to that in a minute because we do have heavier brake lights on southbound 405 from Canyon Park down through Bothell and now kind of extending through Totem Lake. We're up to 40 minutes now from Linwood into Bellevue, 55 all the way from Everett, and that's actually slower by about 5 or 6 minutes than I-5, even though that's the area where we do have the loss of the lanes. We're going to see the brake lights around 130th down to about the 45th, the U District, not quite all the way across the Ship Canal Bridge, but 35 minutes from Linwood to Seattle, 50 all the way from the Everett area. Northbound I-5, you're really not going to hit the brakes much at all from Olympia all the way up to about the north end of Boeing Field. We have 35 to 38 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. Now would be a very good time to get your cosplay on and get into downtown. for Comic-Con. Looking at some brake lights on northbound 509, but just right there at the First Avenue South Bridge. Renton to Bellevue, now seeing some brake lights up past 44th. Plan on about a half an hour to make the drive. That ought to give you a couple extra minutes padded so you can make it to your job on time or wherever you're headed. Puyallup to Renton is running under 40 minutes, so that is great. The lake bridges are as well. This report brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Cage-free eggs are good, range-free or better. Mobile pasture-raised eggs are the best. Choose the best for your family. Locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms eggs.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
It is 8:14. I don't know about you, but I found something very entertaining about Sully saying, get your cosplay on.
I was just saying the same thing to him. Man,
he's so hip.
Feeling spicy today.
Yeah, well.
You know who else is hip?
Oh, to Herb Weisbaum.
Oh, yeah, sure, definitely. He's got his cosplay on as well.
Oh, yeah, and I'm
Sweater
surprised
vest?
he doesn't have a hat on today because he's partying. Because it's National Consumer Protection Week, and it's a big deal for Herb.
Oh, yeah. No one knows how to celebrate like Herb Weisbaum. Nice to have you with us. We have some important steps you can take to reduce your chances of getting taken by a fraudster.
Okay. Herb, of course, is a contributing editor at checkbook.org. Okay, Herb, before we get to the tips, how big is this problem we're talking about?
It is huge and growing. According to the Federal Trade Commission, consumers reported about $12 billion of consumer fraud in 2024, the last year we have the full figures for. And this is really an underestimate because a lot of people never take the time to bother to file the complaint. So the figure's tens of billions of dollars with no question, and it's growing exponentially because of the power of the internet, computers, and AI. And the tips I'm about to give you two are based on my 45 years of consumer reporting in this city, and also talking to thousands of scam victims to ask them about what happened to them. So I'm going to let you lead the way, and I'll give you my advice.
All right. Tell us where to start. What is tip number one?
Be skeptical of everything. You need to be skeptical of telemarketing calls, mail solicitations, email, text messages, social media posts, and all advertisements. Don't take anything at face value. Con artists can make their scams look really good. They can use false testimonials. They can use false logos, great copies of websites, phishing emails looking better than ever before, forged seals of approval. Take the time to think, figure out, does this really make sense before rushing in and getting yourself into a terrible situation.
All right, Herb. Tip number two is guard your private information.
Yeah, keep your private information private. That's why it's your privates. Armed with your bank account number and log. I know, Amanda, you picked it up right away.
I'm just going to move on.
Huh?
Just move on.
Okay. Armed with your bank account number and login credentials, a thief can break into your bank account and steal all of your information. With your credit card, they can run up all kinds of expenses on your card. Not that you won't get taken care of, but it's a real hassle to deal with that. Don't give out any personal information to someone who calls, emails, texts, whatever, out of the blue and says they need the information. Anybody who needs your PII has it already. They are never going to contact you in any means of communication, say, we need your personal information. It just won't happen. And also, your Social Security number is dangerous in the wrong hands. Make sure you guard that as well. Only give it to people who you know you can trust, and only people who actually need that information.
All right, fraud fighting tip number 3, don't trust caller ID. I recently got a new phone, and it actually says likely spam when a number comes up that is someone trying to rip me off, which I love. Yes. But I never answer the phone if I don't recognize the number anyway.
Correct. Well, it's not perfect, but that's getting better. But the problem is that caller ID has now become a tool for the scammers. So they can spoof the number and the name. They can make it say Bank of America or the local police department or Social Security or Medicare or whatever else they want it to say to get you to pick up the phone and start the scam, thinking you're talking from a representative of Visa or MasterCard or your local sheriff's department or whatever. So the advice is, if you don't recognize the number, let it go to voicemail. That way you can listen to it when you're not being rushed or pressured. Decide if it's something that is worth returning the call. It could be your doctor. My doctor sometimes call now from their cell phone. My phone doesn't recognize it. It doesn't say the name of the medical center, so you know to call them back, but don't pick up. And if you do pick up and you're talking to somebody who's obviously a con artist and you're starting to get that feeling something's a little hinky here, hang up. Trust your gut. It will never serve you wrong. And then check them out. And by the way, the only way I use caller ID now is to screen my calls to make sure it's not my sister-in-law, in which case I don't answer. But that's the value of caller ID. I love you, Betty, but, seriously, too many times a day.
Herb gets semi-retired, and here's what he starts to do. He just cuts loose. Okay, Herb. Number 4, government agencies never demand payment via phone, text, or email.
Yeah, they never contact you that way to make initial contact. If there's something wrong with your Social Security, Medicare, IRS, or other government account, they're going to send you a letter, good old snail mail, and tell you they need to contact you. They're never going to demand payment right away, especially from some crazy means such as gift cards, wire transfer, payment app, or cryptocurrency, which are all immediate and irreversible, which is why the con artists try to do that. Government agencies don't accept these payments. Ask yourself, if you get one of those calls and you're thinking about doing it, why would the IRS accept Sephora gift cards to pay my taxes? Just think about that for a second. They don't, okay? Or iTunes cards or anything else. The government does not accept gift cards. Just remember that.
All right, Herb, final tip. This one applies to so many things we do. Slow down. Take your time.
It's your money. It's your identification. And in the digital world, when I talk to kids and lecture them, I always say, not lecture them, but lecture to kids. I tell them there's no undo button in your digital world now. Once you push submit and give a con artist your Social Security number or give them your bank account routing number or whatever they're asking you for, there's no undo. In the old days, when I first started out on KIRO TV, you could stop the check payment. You could go out in the mailbox if I did a story and, I just stopped the check to the oil or gas scam. You can't do that anymore. It's an instant world. You push the button and it goes out. So you've got to really think about it. Anyone can fall victim. That's really key. But, you've got to try to protect yourself. There's not enough good guys out there looking for the bad guys. So watch out. Something important I found out a couple of years ago, the Better Business Bureau actually talked to scam victims and asked who did not fall for the scam. So they got the scam call message or whatever and then didn't fall for it. And they said, what made you bail on the scam and not become a victim? And they said, we trusted our gut. And I think that's a really important advice. Trust your gut. In most cases, it will steer you right. You won't go wrong if you just do that.
But even the smartest of us, Herb, the smart of us, I need a weekend. But the smartest of us, we can fall victim to a scam, right? You've seen it happen all the time.
Especially people who think they're too smart to fall for a scam. Yes, anyone can fall for a scam. People who write for scams for a living, every once in a while I'll spot an article. I can't believe I fell for this when it was so good using AI and this, that, and the other kind of thing. They got me, and I just didn't pay attention. They catch you at a moment where you're making dinner and getting ready to watch a Mariners game and everything's going on, and then they pressure you. They know every button to push to get you to do what they want. And yeah, it can happen to anybody. If you're not sure before you do something, contact somebody. Call a friend or a relative. Say, I just got this call from the IRS and they want me to go buy gift cards. Or talk to the Better Business Bureau, the local office, or the AARP Fraud Watch Network. There are plenty of people out there who can steer you in the right direction if you get one of these calls.
You mentioned this is getting exponentially worse. Are the bad guys getting worse, or is it just because of technology?
There are getting to be more of them. There are now criminal gangs all overseas that this is all they do for a living. I saw a news story about a call center they shut down in Myanmar. It had desks for 3,000 employees to make calls outside of Myanmar to rip people off all across the country. So there are more of them. They're getting better. The technology is getting better. AI is allowing them to do things they've never done before, and where they can reach out. The cost is almost nothing using the internet technology. So both of the above. And they're now kits, Manda. They now sell kits. You can plug this in and use it for your scam. It's like, it's plug and play for scams. That's how bad things have gotten now.
Well, Manda, you and I have known Herb for decades.
Yes.
And I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Herb, but Herb and his wife, Deb, they celebrate National Consumer Protection Week like all 7 days of it. They've got balloons set up in their house. And in fact, what they do is the shredder, they take that, they've got like the streamers, they're blowing on the horns, and they're tossing it like confetti. It is a big celebration inside the Weisbaum house. And I'm glad you enjoyed it so much.
That's the shredder of shame is the technical name for it. That I use on TV when I put mail order things in the shredder of shame. And I'd like to point out to you guys that I did once cover Comic-Con, and the psychic damage is still echoing around. I had to interview William Shatner, and he gave the worst interview he ever gave in his life. Thank God it was recorded because I took out all the times he told me I was stupid for asking him about Star Trek. It's like, what? It's like, Bill, why do you think you're coming to Comic-Con? Not to talk about your horses, not to talk about your HBO interview show. They want to know about Star Trek. And then 6 weeks later, George Takei came to the station, and I told him the story. He goes, Bill, he made your career, Bill. Ease up, buddy. Come on. It was so fun. So that's nice Comic-Con. Oh, and I got to meet Stan Lee, one of the thrills of my life.
That is awesome. All right. Where do we find more about consumer fraud, Herb?
Beside my house, you can go to checkbook.org. The story's right on the homepage. There's 10 tips, by the way. I gave you 5 because I knew this segment only went so long, and Sully's not getting any younger as we do this.
Collateral damage.
Herb's kind of on fire.
Herb can go to see William Shatner today if you want to bring that back up. I think he's at Comic-Con this year. Let's relive that.
Every weekend, you guys. You're my favorite.
Consumer man Herb Weisbaum. Sully, you have traffic for us.
And I'm not getting any younger. It's true. We are definitely seeing some heavy brake lights for those of you through Canyon Park, up to about 55 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, with 40 of that from Linwood. We've got about 35 from Linwood down into Seattle. Northbound I-5 for all the folks heading into Comic-Con. Not much action yet. We're under 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle, which is fabulous. Valley Freeway under 40 from end to end, probably closer to 35. And Renton to Bellevue is only 28 now, and the lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by Closets by Design, custom storage solutions for closets, garages, home offices, and more. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call them 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Well, the rain's going to pick up this afternoon. 51 the high for today. Just scattered showers through the weekend with highs in the low 50s. It's 46 in Seattle right now.
You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Whether you've done some preparation already or you're just beginning to plan for your retirement, it's never too late to make sure you have everything covered. Elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayach joins me. You have an opportunity coming soon that will help answer some important questions, don't you?
We do. And every month we take 3 or 4 opportunities to go to the communities and educate people about what proper retirement planning is. The notion of retirement planning around having a hodgepodge plan, working with a financial planner, a lawyer, a CPA, a doctor, those pieces by themselves are not going to give you the results you want in retirement.
And you and the LifePoint Law team want to teach us about the Safe Harbor Trust?
They do. The single biggest financial threat in retirement is an uncovered medical illness. A Safe Harbor Trust, it should be a must in most of these estates, but is not.
Be part of the next seminar in Tacoma on March 10th, Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett March 17th. Learn more and secure your space at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know the key to a long-lasting roof is yearly maintenance. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? You can trust Guardian's licensed, insured, and expertly trained team. We offer free estimates, second opinions, and financing, giving you the peace of mind your home deserves. Call today. Our first-time customers can save $99 on our award-winning roof repair and cleaning service. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and $250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you. Guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
John Curley here. Last year was one of the hottest on record. Did you know a heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you efficient heating and cooling year-round for the price of paying for air conditioning? Don't wait. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Madeline Peru brings her intimate We Are America trio tour to Dimitro's Jazz Alley. Thursday through Sunday, March 12th through 15th. 4 nights, pure jazz magic. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, the Ruthie Foster Quartet.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:30. A state lawmaker is standing by an offensive comment he made during debate over a bill that would end a program for developmentally disabled people with violent histories.
He intentionally used the R word in a speech, drawing strong reaction from other senators. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey here with more.
Yeah, and Charlie, we have decided not to play Senator Leonard Christian saying the R word. I mean, we don't need to hear it again, but I do want you to listen to this. As horrible as it is to refer to someone who is developmentally disabled in that way, before Christian said it on the House floor in his speech, he appeared to tee it up as if saying the R word was his big moment on Wednesday.
I'm a simple guy. I try to bring things down to where I can understand them when I read the bills. Words and terms that I can understand them. If you surely figured out by now, I do not have a speechwriter. Probably need one.
And then seconds later, that's when he said the word. And here was the immediate reaction. You're going to hear Christian first a little bit, and then you're going to hear other senators reacting in the background, and then Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck.
That's what this bill is doing. It is ending a program.
Language, Senator Christian. Language.
At the time, lawmakers were debating a House bill which would eliminate the Community Protection Program that provides services for people with developmental disabilities who have been charged or convicted with a violent crime. An emotional Senator Noel Frame then spoke on the Senate floor.
I am so emotional at this moment because I cannot believe a member of this body would feign outrage about caring for disabled people after using such offensive term.
Christian never apologized, by the way. In an interview with the Washington State Standard, he said he should have used a different word, but then repeated the same word in that interview. The GOP Senate leader did issue an apology yesterday. You know, Charlie and Manda, Senate Majority Leader Democrat Jamie Peterson was asked if they were going to move to censure Christian or punish him in some way. Peterson said no, that the Republicans Party has taken care of things. Those were his words. Christian could be stripped, is what that means, from 2 prominent positions on 2 different committees that he sits on.
All right. Thank you for that, Luke. It took a crew of 21 firefighters to rescue 2 120-pound Leonberger dogs in West Seattle yesterday. KIRO 7's Jacques Beaulieu says they got stuck down a cliff chasing squirrels.
The dogs were not injured, and after the rescue, they were in remarkably good spirits.
Here's your second one. Sure, I'll take her.
Part of the reason they were so unbothered by the whole ordeal is because they're trained therapy dogs, and being relaxed is part of the job. In fact, they often work with first responders,
You hold the leash.
meaning being surrounded by firefighters was somewhat familiar to them.
It was a joy for them to be able to be rescued by the people they love to serve.
So I've got a 120-pound Great Dane. You've got a massive dog yourself.
Oh, yeah, he weighs about 110-ish.
Yeah, they are not easy to maneuver, so good on those firefighters. Time to check traffic now. Here is Chris Sullivan.
Leon
Burger. They're
Leon
big,
Burger.
beautiful furry dogs.
Okay, I immediately, the first you did the story, I was thinking that, like,
yeah,
I was thinking a hamburger.
No.
It's like a Leon Burger from your, Leon's Place. I learned something today. Beautiful dog.
Yeah,
I
they're
looked it up.
German.
Wow, crazy. I am. Looking at northbound 167, we're looking at a pretty good drive, under 40 minutes, 35 really, probably closer to the number. And then Renton to Bellevue is about 25. So pretty good. The S-curves are active, but by the time you're up past Sunset, it starts freeing up. Olympia to Tacoma, and then on up through Federal Way, really to the north end of Boeing Field. You're not going to hit the brakes at all. We're at 35 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. That's great, even for a Friday. Lake bridges are still in very good shape. Coming down from the north end, we've got about a 50-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, with 35 of those minutes from Linwood. We still have the brake lights to deal with there in the usual suspect locations. This report brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the packaging for healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s. Choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Our forecast is here's some light rain this morning. It's going to pick up, though, for the afternoon hours, 51 the high. Just scattered showers for Saturday and Sunday. We might even see some sun breaks by Sunday afternoon. Highs in the low 50s. Right now, cloudy and 46 in Seattle.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Another round of lawsuits filed by the attorneys general in 24 states to stop global tariffs from the Trump administration. And a new drop of documents from the Epstein files.
Yep, let's break it all down now with CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarlane. Our attorney general is included in that. Let's start with this latest round of lawsuits. Scott, what are they arguing?
One of the more effective forms of resistance in Trump 2.0 has been from state attorneys general, Washington State being on the forefront, Maryland, Delaware, New York. Other states where there are Democratic attorneys general have been challenging a lot of things in this administration and halting a lot of things in this administration, controversial policies. These tariffs are the latest forefront of the battle. And what they're trying to do here is get some type of remuneration for all the people who spent more money, all the businesses and stakeholders who spent more money because of the tariffs. Now, when you go to war legally with the Trump administration, you got to gear up for a multi-year fight. But just staging this battle sends a message, I think, to the public and a broader message about those tariffs.
Scott, remind our audience, how did the Trump administration pivot after this Supreme Court ruling?
Well, not as much as I think the state attorneys general would have liked. Instead of dropping this unilateral executive branch tariff plan, they pivoted to enact a different mechanism to put tariffs at a 15% level on countries around the world. What this lawsuit is arguing, and what so many of the critics of the administration have argued, is that this is not the point of the Supreme Court ruling. It's not so you try a different executive branch mechanism to tariff. It's that you involve Congress, which is the branch of government, which is to approve these things.
How do you see this unfolding, Scott?
It's going to take a while. I think this is something that's going to run well into 2027. There may be some fits and starts and halts and appeals. Like so much of what's been challenged in the Trump administration, these things go to the federal court system, then the appeals court, then possibly back to the Supreme Court. But it's those state attorneys general, including Washington states, that have been effective, perhaps most effective, at wielding their legal leverage and fighting these fights.
It's been such a fire hose of news this week, Scott. We have some Epstein files. I understand some new ones have been released this week.
Yeah, a senior Justice Department official told me yesterday that there have been some unintentional, F-ups in how they've released some of the files. I cleaned that up for you guys.
Thank
I
you.
cleaned it up for you.
And listen, I mean, Scott McFarland is going remuneration and attorneys general. If he says that, I love it.
So you can get away with it.
Well, were the words he used, and I think he chose them deliberately. But that they have to put out more things that were mistakenly miscoded in the system. Now, it just happens to be that some of those files released last night involved an accusation or two against Donald Trump by a woman who says she was abused as a young female. They are some remarkably colorful accusations that the White House has said are completely debunked and completely bonkers. But that said, the process is part of the story here, isn't it? When things come up and they go back down, they go back up, there's going to be this sense that there's some strategy or some deliberateness to what they're withholding. The Department of Justice called us into the room yesterday to say, no, these were screw-ups, and we're trying to make good on them.
So are you actually learning anything new, or are these highly redacted again?
They're not terribly redacted. I mean, there's a lot there, but these accusations do not appear to have any substance to them, which makes them, I guess, very symmetrical to a lot of the other things that have been released so far, where there's some crazy things said. It doesn't mean there's any substance to them.
And Scott, how much more are we expecting to be released, and how much more is out there?
I don't think we're definitely going to get anything more. The department said a couple of weeks ago they were done. The review is over. They backtracked a bit last night, sending out some more things. I don't know that we get any more. That doesn't mean there won't be a fight for more release, because there's members of Congress of both parties who are dissatisfied with the release. About 3.5 million pages of files have been released, but there's an estimated 6 million, so it's roughly half, and they want more. Survivors do too. Let's see if the political pressure frees up any more files, because it was political pressure that caused this release in the first place.
Scott, I was just kind of desk scrolling on X, and I noticed yesterday you posted a picture of what appears to be your neighborhood gas station, saying another 10-cent increase in D.C. Your gallon is now up to a whopping $3.39 there in D.C.
Oh, are you able to afford that, Scott?
Have you been to Washington lately?
Yeah, let me tell you the grief I caught from Californians.
Similar, I'm sure.
Oh boy, I got a guy from San Francisco who said things about my mother.
Okay,
it is a visceral political issue. It is a problem for the administration.
Okay. Scott McFarland, we will say nothing about any of your family members because
tell
we
your mother
appreciate
hello.
you.
I hear she's lovely.
Thank you both.
That's CBS Justice correspondent Scott McFarland here on Seattle's Morning News.
Insulation rebates from PSC are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSC insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSC trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places that I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors with savings up to 20% on new windows and doors for your home. Plus, enjoy easy 12-month same-as-cash financing. Strike gold today. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
It's 8:43, time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we're definitely starting to see things get a little bit better. It's going to take some time for those of you coming down from the Snohomish County area. But the rest of the map looks really good. And for the amount of people that are going to be heading to Comic-Con later today, I'm surprised we don't have more traffic going into downtown. But I think it's also just a byproduct that we don't have the forced merge at the express lanes in the northbound directions. So there's a little bit more of a free flow for the first time heading into Comic-Con. So we're running at 35 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. That is a really good travel time, especially considering how many people I know are heading downtown. Looking at Renton to Bellevue, the S-curves are okay. Not much action past 900, working your way up to 44th, 25 minutes there. Valley Freeway, 35 as well. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. Just the slightest of braking approaching the First Avenue South Bridge, and then to the legitimate braking, which is for those of you on southbound 405 from the Canyon Park area down through Bothell. It's about 35 minutes from Linwood to Bellevue, 35 as well from Linwood to Seattle. Brake lights are inside 145th, heading down towards the Ship Canal Bridge. Lake bridges are still in great shape. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Visit Subaru of Puyallup for friendly experts, transparent pricing, genuine care, and savings during the Subaru Lot to Love event now through March 31st. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
We're seeing some light showers in spots this morning, but the rain's going to pick up for all of us in the afternoon hours. It'll be a wet afternoon commute, 51 the high. For the weekend, look for just spotty showers both Saturday and Sunday, low 50s. Sunday looks like the nicest of the 2 days. Right now it's cloudy and 46 in Seattle.
And coming up, we have KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden giving us a preview of Comic-Con. That's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com. Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
Axel F. on this Friday. Oh, is it for Friday?
Oh, yeah.
Axel Friday.
The Crazy Frog version.
Nice choice.
All right. Thank you for that, Nick. We are gearing up because we are in the final moments on a Friday edition of Seattle's Morning News.
And that means it's time for KIRO Newsradio's Paul Holden to stop by with his weekend planner. Paul, I woke up with your Friday song stuck in my head.
Well, that's a good thing. That
About
means...
45 times I heard Charlie saying,
What?
Before I even got to work.
Well, that means that's how you know you're in for a good Friday, I hope.
This is a big weekend for you, kind of like the Super Bowl for nerds.
Absolutely, yes. This is indeed. I think that's a very.
Is that offensive?
Hey, trust me. I've produced the G and Ursula show. G calls me his favorite nerd, so that
he digs into that hard. I know that.
Exactly. Yeah, Nick knows. But no, yeah, it's a huge weekend, of course, and I'll explain why. But we got to have the music because Amanda's been dying to hear it.
This Saturday, Sunday, what?
This
Friday, this Saturday, Sunday, what?
What's going on, Charlie, is Emerald City Comic Con. Yes, it is already underway. Started officially yesterday, but we are in for a weekend full of pop culture fun. And this is one of my favorite events of the year. What's really cool about this year, I got to talk to Chris DeLando. He is the event director for Reed Pop. And he's running the whole thing. They have a big local focus this year. So they're actually bringing a lot more local artists. They're bringing a lot more local creators, and they've added an extra whole stage just for basically small and local creators to be able to show off their stuff and do a little bit of things. If you are heading to Comic-Con, I do want to share something that Chris said is his Comic-Con survival guide, and I agree with this here.
My Comic-Con survival kit is always comfortable shoes, a refillable water bottle, an external battery pack for your phone, and the Emerald City Comic-Con mobile app. Those are like the key items you need to bring.
Wear good shoes. You're going to be walking way more than you think if you're going to Comic-Con. And I actually got a whole bunch of tips available for folks if they want to have my perfect day at Comic-Con, at least, or what I think makes for a perfect day. And that includes sticking to your priorities. There's a lot of things out there that you're going to want to see, but make sure that you're sticking to the ones that you really want to see. And go now if you can. Go get your badge now. The show floor doesn't open for another hour-ish, and if you don't waste time standing in line, go get your badge early so you can get there, because even though the show floor closes at 7, that day is going to go a lot faster than you think. So you're going to want to go check out all that stuff. I got more tips available for you at mynorthwest.com, but Comic-Con, not the only thing going on here. We have the Northwest Record Show at the Seattle Center Armory. This happens twice a year. It's always cool. I've been a couple of times. If you're a music memorabilia fan, if you're looking for maybe that record that has escaped you, that's going to be the place you want to check out there. The Seattle Center Armory on Sunday from 10 to 5. And it's also a food drive. So if you bring a canned food, you will get $1 off your entry. And big celebration happening in the Chinatown International District on Saturday. It is the Lunar New Year celebration, and they're going to be highlighting over 40 restaurants during their food walk. So if you've been wanting to maybe try some things, you've been curious about some restaurants down there in the Chinatown ID, you can go check that out. There's also going to be lion dances and martial arts demonstrations. What's been cool about some of these Lunar New Year's events is they've done a lot of martial arts demonstrations. Have you ever seen anything like that?
I have not.
I've seen it on like TV or something like that, or like the clips.
Live.
It's always very impressive, especially when they can do multiple like kicks in the air, or like kick one of those those pieces of wood that are like somebody's holding up like 3 stacked high.
Can't you do that?
No, I can't do that. I wish I wish I could. I would embarrass myself. The closest I could do is I think I'd be able to be all right, like jumping off a turnbuckle or something in like a WWE style. In Redmond on Sunday, it is the Festival of Color. If you've seen these before, this is a celebration of Holi, that holiday as well. This is where all the colors, they have those powdered colors, and you throw them at all up in the air. Everyone gets covered in colors. It's a big celebration of spring. That's going to be at Redmond City Hall, free to attend. But if you are going to head to that, you'll want to register ahead of time on the events website, just so they can get, a lot of these events do that so they can get a head count here. But we got lots more information on stuff going on this weekend, including the Kent Kids Art Day, if you have an artist in the family, and the Lacey Cultural Celebration on Saturday. That's from 10 to 6. You can find out more details on those at mynorthwest.com.
All right, you didn't include in your Comic-Con survival guide whether or not you have to dress up.
Okay. I think I don't personally have a big dress up, a big costume, but I have a small thing. But I think you should, especially if you have a group. I mean, I think it makes it. I think you can really immerse yourself in the experience. It takes it to the next level. But the thing that you should not slouch on is the shoes. I know every cosplayer wants to have the most authentic costume, but if you're walking around in uncomfortable shoes up and down stairs, and it's both convention centers, so you are going to be walking all over the place. So that's the one thing. But
I have an idea. I have an idea. Okay,
watch out.
We can't go this year, right? I mean, we have plans this weekend, right, Sully?
Yep.
Next year, you and I go cosplay as Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, what a great idea.
Okay, and Manda can be, what is it, the Lauren Holly character, Mary. Mary, you could be,
Can you tell I have no idea who you're talking about?
And
so
she
you're
just
telling
says
me
you're telling me there's a chance all weekend long.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're telling. By the way, this weekend I am going and I'm dressing as Pochita, and so I wanted to know how do I wear good shoes for that.
You're gonna have to do your best. I mean, that's the one area that has to be the unauthentic part of your costume.
You didn't buy Pochita shoes, Sully?
No,
Come on.
I didn't. I should have bought some Pochita. You guys know Pochita,
Who
right?
the heck is Pochita?
Oh.
And are you really?
No,
okay.
not at all.
I didn't
He's
think
just
so.
my favorite character from Chainsaw Man, which Tommy loves, and he has a little stuffy. It's the little dog that's a chainsaw for a nose.
I have some
it's
homework
awesome.
to do, clearly.
And gentlemen, you've got the costume right. Remember, a little deodorant goes a long way.
Yes. And always ask for permission to take a picture with someone.
Excellent
and never
advice.
touch a costume without consent. Big rules there at Comic-Con as well.
Paul, have a great weekend. Thank you.
as well. Thank you.
Okay, Sully, traffic, please.
All right, we're definitely seeing improvements now through Linwood down into Bothell and Linwood down into Shoreline and into Seattle. We still have about a 30-minute trip from Linwood into Seattle or Bellevue. Northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle. The whole trip, 35 minutes. Renton to Bellevue is back under 20. We're under 35 from Puyallup to Renton. Just a little westbound slowing on 520 as you approach the Montlake area, but that doesn't appear to be too bad. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
We're seeing showers this morning, but the rain is going to pick up through the afternoon hours. Quite wet this afternoon, 51 the high. For the weekend, just scattered showers and highs in the low 50s. Sunday, we might even see some sun breaks. Right now, it's cloudy and 46 in Seattle.
Coming up, CBS News with the latest on the war in Iran at the top of the hour. Then it's G and Angela Poe Russell on the G and Ursula Show on this fresh Friday. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Have you thought about how your finances should change in 2026? Well, my friends at WaFd Bank can help, right, Brad?
Right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. You also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me about this voice-activated banking I've been hearing about.
You can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts when your hands are full, which, let's face it, is probably most of the time. You'll also have access to free tools like person-to-person payments with Zelle, mobile check deposit, intuitive new debit card management tools to turn your card on and off, set spending notifications, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And you could choose from those great-looking Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves debit cards. So visit wafdbank.com to open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
A 20-year study published in Current Biology showed a sizable increase in fatal accidents following spring daylight saving time. Pay attention and slow down. Many drivers are dealing with less sleep and an adjustment to their routines. If you, a friend, or family member are involved in a car accident, call CAR. The Harold Carr Law Offices have 7 locations across Western Washington to serve accident victims, and they are at their best when dealing with insurance companies. Focus on your recovery while the team at the Harold Carr Law Offices tracks down paperwork and communicates with insurance on your behalf. Not only will they help you recover the amount you deserve from insurance, they'll save you a lot of time and money in trying to do it yourself. They understand how difficult it is to recover from a serious injury, while they hold the insurance company or other negligent party accountable. Harold Carr Law Offices can help. Go to carlaw.com. That's C-A-R-R, carlaw.com. Car accident? Call Carr.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, North